So you're in a situation that you don't like or you're not fond of. You're in a workspace that you don't feel like you should be in. You're in a home that you feel like you've outgrown, and you are in a relationship that you feel like is no longer serving you. If you feel like that's you right now, this video is for you. We're going to elaborate more on what I've dealt with and how I dealt with it, and understood how to take myself out of that hard and difficult situation and end up in a more peaceful and serene minded state. So, if you were in a situation right now that is not the ideal situation that you want to be, right? Most gurus will come and tell you, boo, go, you're the one who's causing all your suffering. They are right, you are causing your own suffering. But it's hard to tell somebody who's been in pattern for as long as they have been to just come out of it, right? It takes consistency, it takes patience, and it takes discipline. You have to take your mental health seriously. And I'm not talking about some woo-ha, go do some face masks, go to the spa, all of that shit. No, I'm talking about real hardcore work. These are patterns that have been instilled in you for generations. It's been instilled in your mother, it's been instilled in your grandmother, it's been instilled in every single matriarch and patriarch in your family, and you are now this whole offspring that has all of these badass habits and you don't know how to do it. Now, I was grown up by a single mother, right? My father was not here. My father was in the United States. My mother was in the Caribbean, had no high school education. She didn't finish her high school education because she got pregnant early, teenage pregnancy and whatnot. Therefore, the stability in our home was just not stable. If you grew up in a one-parent household, you understand, right? Along with all of that, all the things happen, poverty, a lot of pressure financially on a one person. And it's just like someone, for example, going to prison. You go to prison and you say, yo, I'm not going to do this again. And they end up in a situation again because of the same patterns. They weren't gifted the right tools to succeed in life. And that happened to my mother. And therefore, I was in a situation where she was so scared. She did the best that she could to ensure that I could have an education. I could have a home. I could be clothed. A lot of sacrifices that she had to do, right? But there's just only so much you can do as one person. So yeah. Video is to make you understand that it doesn't matter what situation you were born in, as long as you are doing better than your parents. I'm not gonna lie. If you are doing better than your parents, I have a high school education, I have a college education. I'm very proud of that. I can read, my mind is very functional, I am good at processing things. Think we take things for granted in this era of life where things are so, it seems as if everything is so easy, but there are some people who are out there who would wish to have the comprehension skills you have, who could read, who can write, who can do arithmetic, who can understand serious situations. We see it now with the degeneration of society where you tell people to vote and they don't know what they're voting for because the text that is on the screen. This is why pastors are here in church. Like, congregation doesn't know what you're talking about. They want to be spoon-fed, right? A majority of religions were like that because majority of the people who are in the churches, in the synagogue, well, synagogues are different because Jewish people are really like about everyone knowing the Torah, but there's always someone overseeing the knowledge that the congregation in. But yeah, point is, suffering is all in mental. Suffering is all in your mind, right? Even though I had all these things, I had such a difficult journey to get where I am today. And you have to give yourself grace because there's so many factors to what's going on in this world. We are having different, like, every single day. I don't know, whoever's watching this, you may be black, you may be white, you may be Hispanic, Cuban, you may be Indian, you may be Japanese, you may be Chinese. I don't know. We all face something, right? You might feel like you broke. You may feel like you in the house that you don't want to be in. You may be working over 80 to 100 hours. I don't know. Okay? Done it all. Okay? I used to work I get up at 5 a.m. and I reach home at around 10 p.m. Right? Then I would figure out what I would like to do with my life and sit down, watch Netflix. I used to just get high, eat food, go to bed, and then wake up back at 5 o'clock and do the same thing over again. And I decided to myself, this is not what I wanted to do. But in the meantime, when I was in these jobs, I worked at McDonald's, I worked at a gambling shop, I was a general manager, I worked in a paint warehouse. And I said to myself, if I do not take a leap of faith now, I will be stuck in this cycle for the rest of my life. And this is not what I wanted. First of all, I went to college to be, it sounds crazy, a physiotherapist. I've always been interested in how the body works, right? I've always loved physical education. I've loved biology and how the human body works. It's just one of the things that I love to do, right? I've done track all my life. I played football, I've done soccer, all of those things. And I swear to God, I swear I was going to be doing sports for the rest of my life, right? I don't know what the future holds with fitness and the physiology, but that's what I studied. And I ended up doing all these odd jobs. It was just so hard to get back into a track club because Jamaica is different from the UK, right? I wanted so bad to run, and I was holding on to that dream, but it just didn't happen, right? Not only didn't it die, I just didn't fight hard enough. I didn't think it was worth fighting for anymore because I am so out of it. You're training and then you just not training anymore and your body is just atrophied. There's no point. You felt like there was no point. So then I said, okay, out of everything, what do I want to do now? Imagine preparing your whole life for a situation that no longer has happened. And this is where the suffering victim mentality creeped in. And I found myself in a place that I didn't want to be in again. Last time I was in that was when I was really young and I was going through severe anxiety. Didn't know it was anxiety at the time. I was silenced. I felt like I couldn't use up my throat chakra anymore. And I just went silent. I was very angry, doubt a lot, got into a lot of fights. I spoke too tough, you get smacked, and that was it. It's not the right thing to do, but when you're a child and no one is telling you how to process your feelings the right way, it stems into violence and anger and not actually seeing the person as a person. You're seeing them as this big, because I was tall. I've always been tall. This black girl who just is angry and no one wants to ask her why is she angry. So the first thing I would say, you need to pinpoint the feelings that are buried that you've been ignoring for some time now. If you're feeling angry, I suggest you write down all the things that have made you angry. If you're feeling fear, I felt fear of abandonment because my mother was always traveling and going to work and coming back. I felt like, is she ever coming back? Will she ever coming back? In my adulthood life, I felt like, damn, this person does not appreciate me. I've been in situations where I feel like I may be too much. When I enter a situation, feel as if maybe I should just downplay myself a little bit so people don't feel as intimidated because I am tall and I am black and I don't want to show, I don't want to make them feel like, oh, I'm this big scary black girl. So that was one of the things that I felt deep inside of me. Had to address that. I had to address the trauma, the neglect I experienced, especially when I entered a relationship with my honey bun sugar plum that I am with right now. We ended up living together and we ended up arguing, and that first big argument shook me to the core because it was like, oh my gosh, I'm fighting with my person. Nobody wants to fight with their person. It's not healthy to be fighting with their person, right? And if you are aware in the now, you're on the right path. If you are aware that you are causing pain, not only to another person, but to yourself, you are on the right path, right? So I had to step back and address the mother wound that I have, that strong, independent woman trope that my mother sent down to me because she didn't have my father in the picture to help her. And she instilled in me that you don't need a man, and I do need a man. We don't need a man. But it's scientifically proven that we live longer having partners in this lifetime, having a community. It doesn't just have to be a man. It could be many of women. You could have a commune of women, but it lasts longer socializing. That being alone mentality is not made for me as a woman, right? The way I talked to myself was very hostile. It was very aggressive. It was just unknown, the behest of me just doing it over and over again. I was talking to myself. I wasn't really seeing myself. I didn't feel beautiful. It's crazy because you have this like confidence. You'd be like, at least I'm prettier than that person. In reality, spirit is like, shut the fuck up. You look good. But not the first time they've choked me in this fucking video. Anyways, the basic point I'm trying to make is suffering is all a mental state, right? I was so worried about what was going to happen in the future that I didn't even get to enjoy the now. I didn't stand on boundaries. I didn't tell niggas no means no, right? I didn't tell my mother no enough. Felt as if I was guilty. I felt guilty because I'm like, oh my God, she gave birth to me. You keep reiterating, I gave you a house, I feed you, the basic necessities and stuff supposed to be held over your child's head. It buried and deeply burrowed into your subconscious. It doesn't go away. No matter how think it's going away, it's like a crippling feeling of like, I can't talk to this person. You just feel suffocated and it's intense. And the transition of leaving a third or first world country where the cultures are different and everything, you feel like another gap in things. I have no friend, I have no group. Everybody has their group and it's very important to have a group. It's very important to have a group of people that you can fall back on if you are in need of something. It's always been like that throughout time, okay? I was just attacking life alone, okay? A mantra that I usually say to myself is, you deserve to have friends. You deserve to be in a community that loves on you, cares for you, and wants to see you succeed, right? Wants to see you successful, okay? I realized I used to have this thing where, I don't want to make this video too long, but as soon as somebody showed up with if that weren't, what do you call it, savory, I wanted to run away, right? And I can't do that. If your friend is going through something and you are capable of filtering out your emotion and just listening, sometimes people just need to listen, right? That will also help in your suffering, in everyone's suffering. And let's talk more about the good things. Why are we so focused? Yes, the job's a job, but we gotta work. You gotta figure out where to wash your ass until you can buy a nice homestead with your farm and your horses and whatnot, with your cow shit. You need to work. I hate people thinking that they just cannot work. You have to work. You have to show up. You have to do something with your body in this lifetime. We were all given a mission here. Whatever it is, pay attention. There are teas, tinctures, smoke, sage, Palo Santo that you can burn and mix up in your house and figure it out. There's beautiful people on YouTube who can help you find your way and your path and your community. Okay, I'm building one right now with some beautiful people who are watching this video. We need community, right? And the entities that do not want us in community would love for us to stay alone. Okay? Basic here is stop focusing on what happened in the past. Heal it so we can focus on the now. It sounds hard, but also you have to take action. You have to get up. You got to get out of this rut that you're in and just make a decision and do it. Go outside. That's one of the biggest things for me. Go outside, get some sun, get some fresh air. It doesn't matter if it's winter blizzard, go outside. You will feel so much better. And if you find yourself in a jealousy or a envious loop or someone else is doing something, find yourself something to do. Start writing. That's easy. If you can write, if you can read, write. If you can't write, cut and paste, make a scrapbook. Do something with these. These are vibrating and pulsating and they're yearning to do something. Think of the people who cannot use these. This is magic. We take for granted our hands and our feet if you have them. Some people don't. So this is what I'm saying. It's all perspective. We're also consumed in our little bubbles. We're not even considering what other people are going through. And I kid you not, you stop worrying about all this thing, the work and stuff. Leave work at work. Don't bring work home. And find your tribe, okay? I hope this helped you. This is exactly what I did. It's not easy, but it's worth it, okay? Get yourself out of victim seat. Talk to yourself nicely. You know what you got to do. Wear your best clothes. Wear all black if you want to. If you don't know, you're transitioning. Make yourself feel like the queen or king you are. Use your face. Get some nice perfume, essential oils. Make yourself feel good. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. It doesn't matter if you are a garbage man. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Because I believe everything happens for a reason and no decision is a decision. So when you end up in the funk, you can't blame nobody but yourself. And on that note, I'll see y'all in the next video. I love y'all. Okay? See you next week.